My fellow Americans, 'tis I, the Rumpled One. July 16th, 2012. Couple weeks after July 4th, Independence Day. Well, where I live here, rural America, we've got kind of a little controversy, little situation happening in these parts. There's a fellow. He publishes a paper, one of them little papers that you pick up for free at the grocery store or the gun store or the gift shop or the local restaurants and markets. Well, some people don't like what he has to say. You could say he's right-wing. He definitely doesn't like Obama. And that's okay, because I don't like Obama either. We see eye to eye on that topic. And even if we didn't, that'd be okay too. But the situation is that there's some people that don't like this paper, and they're doing things like stealing the copies. They're just taking them all and trashing them. They're making harassing phone calls to the publisher and death threats. They're harassing the businesses that provide these papers. In fact, one of the major grocery stores won't let them put the paper in there anymore. Now, most people really don't understand the First Amendment, the right to free speech, freedom of the press. You see, he's free to publish his paper. But that doesn't mean that I have to read it or you have to read it. But he has the right to publish it. Now, the store owners, they don't have to put that paper out there if they don't want to. That's their right. And if people want to boycott a store for having that paper, that's their right too. But things get kind of murky, muddled. You see, when people take it as far as destroying that paper, that's not right. Makes me want to use my Second Amendment rights against them. Right to bear arms. Because if it comes down to it, I would bear arms. I would stand guard by one of those newsstands and say, you want to steal this paper, you got to get through me first. That's how strong I feel about it. You want to take one and read it, you go right ahead. But if you think you're going to take all these copies, you're going to have to come through me first. I've never met this guy, but that's what I would do. Because it's right. Because see, let's see, back in the 90s, I did something similar. I got 86'd out of a local newspaper. They didn't like what I had to say. People said, if you keep printing his letters to the editor, you know, we're going to boycott your paper. The same thing. It's basically gang. But it's their right to boycott a paper if they publish somebody's letter. That's okay. And the newspaper has a choice. They can feel free to publish it or not. But when you cross the line and start trashing somebody's work, you know, trash their place of business, destroy their press, you know, break their computer, steal their goods, that's crossing the line. So, like I said, this is an issue that's a little muddled, a little murky, but I think that man has the right. In fact, I know that man has the right to publish that paper. First Amendment rights. And I will defend his right. I won't let people take away his right. But if the store owners, if they want to say, well, you know what, we don't want to be part of this, and they don't want to put the paper out, that's all well and good. They shouldn't be forced. But I think, you know, some people need to grow a pair and let any paper out there stand. In fact, City Hall, they didn't like my paper. when I published it. So they made a policy that from now on no papers can be put in City Hall. Just because they didn't want my paper there. So they couldn't discriminate against mine, so they had to ban all papers rather than let all papers in. That's just the way some people are. I guess that's their right. I don't like it, but that's how it is. So you have to be real careful in these situations, because just because you might not like something, that doesn't make it right, and it doesn't give you the right. But there's certain things when you cross the line, is when you got to stand up and defend. And I think this is one of those cases. So I hope I don't ever see anybody stealing that man's papers, because things could get ugly real quick. Wake up, America. Smell the hypocrisy.